Hello guys, welcome back to my craft room. My name's Whitney Lucas with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and it's been a while, but I'm back with a few videos, so let's see how this goes. I know you guys are used to me doing live streams, but I wanted to record something. It's really late at night. Currently we're all going through a self-quarantine here in the US, especially in Las Vegas where I live, so I'm bored and I want to make some stuff and I want to show you guys how I did it. So what I did here was I got this cute little guy here made, and I wanted to make another one, show you guys how I did it. It's really cute. It is a actual picture frame attached to a baking dish. Look how cute that is. Or like a, not a brownie pan, but this is just like some sort of cookie sheet type thing. All these are inexpensive things you can pick up anywhere, whether it's the dollar store, which again, the dollar store has less stronger bakeware, so you might want to be careful when you buy stuff from the dollar store, but this I got, I think, from McFrugal's or Walmart, one of those things. The only thing is, like, I painted this, you can see. It's non-stick. It kind of didn't stick, and then I just roughed it all up to make it look very, very weathered. But I'm not going to paint the one today. And then this really pretty picture frame, you see here, I got this on clearance, I believe, at Hobby Lobby, but you can find picture frames pretty much anywhere in any place. Again, Big Lots is another good place to go to, or any of the discount stores, thrift stores, Goodwill. Get some really cute picture frames. They could be wooden, they don't have to be. And I'll tell you again why I picked certain wooden ones later and then how to mount them. But this is basically a little arrangement. Looks like a picture frame up front, flowers coming out. Back of it's a baking dish. Not really going to see this very much, but I still thought it was a very cute concept and I loved it. So let's make one together, and we'll go down to the craft table. I'll show you guys all the stuff I got, okay? Alright guys, welcome to the craft table. Here's our finished product. And I'll show you here, I had to attach some picture frame holders to the back of this wooden frame in order to have something to hang it by. There wasn't a way to really hang anything from this metal piece here. Now a lot of it, in order to attach the frame to the wooden piece here, I had to use E6000 glue. So a lot of this has already been done, as you can see. This is what we're going to work with here. And I will explain why there's paint in there in a minute. So basically, here's some extra pieces. I can show you little examples of what I bought. So here, baking dish. This is a 9x13 oblong cake pan, is what it says here. It's a cake pan. Okay, you can see here I got it at Big Lots. $5, $5.50. Nothing big, no big deal. It is non-stick because most baking sheets are these days. If you can find one that's not, it might be easier. But basically, in order to attach the picture frame to it, I had to sand it and rough it up here. And then examples of picture frames. These are obviously too small for this particular dish, but you guys know there are smaller baking dishes on a much smaller level. So find a picture frame that'll match. So in instance, I would probably use this one. It's an 8x10 for a 9x13 pan. Literally, I'm just eyeballing it when I'm in the store. That looks about right. You know, obviously give or take some because of the box. This is not wood, I don't believe, but once I rip it apart, I'll be able to see on the back if I can just screw into the side of the frame or if I'm going to have to rough up the edges and use E6000 glue. So that's the premise of it, right guys? Find a baking dish or a baking pan, find a picture frame, and you're going to get to gluing. So let me move this out of the way and I'll show you a little bit more detail here. This guy here was a little bit of a work in progress. Now I'll be honest with you, this was my test piece before I was able to do this one. I got some spray paint that was supposed to be for metal items, not necessarily non-stick bakeware. So as you can see here, there was a lot of mess. There was a lot of, you know, trial and error. So on the inside you can see I've scratched most of it out, but again, we're going to put flowers in here. You're not going to see any of this. You're going to be lucky if you even see the picture frame up here. I just want it to kind of peek out. So what I had to do was I roughed up underneath here on the edges and I attached it as much as I could see that it was touching around all of the edges here with E6000 glue. So underneath here, on the sides, and you guys know E6000 glue. Everybody knows this. If you're not familiar, it's a metal tube. This stuff is pretty much permanent. You could also use something called JB Weld or epoxy. Be careful with it because it is not friendly to your hands. But this stuff is basically, it's solid. It's not coming off. So because this frame is also not wooden, I wasn't able to put the picture frame holders I used on the back of this one. Since this is a wooden frame, I could just screw right into the frame with a screwdriver, because those little tiny screws that you see here, they're little sharp ones. I don't know if you call that self-tapping. Anyways, big, words people use when they're carpenters. Anyhow, these little tiny screws with a screwdriver would go just right in, and you could see how thick the frame is. It wasn't going to be an issue. So I put those on the back of this wooden frame. I did not have that opportunity here because this is a plastic frame. Now, I may have, I should have tried, but I'd already had too many issues with this whole pan, which as you can see, I've roughed it up with some sandpaper. A lot of the paint came off. So what I did was I used more E6000 glue on the side here. I roughed it up some more, and then I used some masking tape to tape it down or hold this piece down when I used some E6000 glue. So we will attach our hanger to the side of this guy. Now inside here is actual styrofoam, a piece of styrofoam block. Last night I was filling in some other containers and I had a little bit of this spray foam left. It's that great stuff. I know you guys have seen me use it before. And I have a YouTube video of filling up a bunch of stuff. That's this stuff here. I used it to fill up another 2-tiered item I'm going to be doing a live stream on. You guys will see me fill that one up. These things also take time to cure. So on top of the E6000 glue curing, then this stuff needs to cure. So it's a couple days worth of wait time and cure time. Just, set it aside, put it in your garage, get it ready for the day you're ready to do things. But just know this is going to take a little bit of preparation. It's not going to be a gather up all your goodies and then it's just done kind of thing. Because even this one I glued with E6000 around the edges in order to get that solid bond. Okay, so this is what we're going for. I think it's really cute. This one I did a little country. Then again, I seem to do that a lot with a lot of things. I think this would be really cute in a kitchen or an entryway, anywhere. Honestly, I'd put this stuff anywhere. This one was a pink one. I think I only used like 2 different bushes of smaller flowers on this. This one's a little bit bigger, so I just grabbed some extra flowers out of my stash. I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to start working on this girl. So I'm going to go with yellows. And you guys, these flowers are just from my stash. I know we all have stash sitting somewhere. We all have stuff that is just extras. See, this one's, I've used this for another project. It's missing a stem here. This I've zip tied back on because these pieces I didn't use. So again, these are all just what I call stash busters. And sometimes those are like the best things you can find. You can make something really pretty out of your stash busters. These flowers are a little bit bigger, but I'm only going to use maybe 1 or 2 of them. I really like them. And then I grabbed this bush, even though I know there's some pinks in here. I want to use these styrofoam, these green styrofoam guys here off of this particular bundle. So we're really going to fill it all in and see what we can come up with. See, that already fell apart from what I ripped it apart before. So that's just my idea for this, you guys, just extra stuff. And then I'm going to go, since I'm doing a lot of yellows and stuff, I'm going to go with a turquoise and green small set of ribbons. Got my thumbstick ribbons and this little cording here. None of this is wired. So the best part about this is because it's hanging on the wall, we want this stuff to hang out down. So none of this is wired. This is an old Michael's purchase, and this is an old Paper Mark purchase. So again, go with all of your extra stash busters. And again, you guys are probably not going to be able to find any of this stuff because these are like all a couple years old. I also have some twine or cording that I got at the hardware store. I'm going to use that to tie to the sides to hang it with. So, in fact, I'm going to do that first because I always forget to. And putting this thing on the sides after you've already finished your project can be a little just a little difficult because you're smushing your bow, you're smushing your flowers. So, I'm going to go ahead and just pick something I think might be a little bit too long. And I'm going to double it up. Okay, so if you see here, guys, I took my one piece. I did about maybe this much. You guys remember, I don't really do much measurement, so this is about 3 feet, okay? And then at the the corner here, I'm making a little loop. That's what I'm going to stick through on one side. So I'm going to push this guy through over here, and then I'm going to have to cut it because we're going to make one of those little loops in itself. Alright, so I got basically a doubled up cord. I'm going to run this through here in order to create that type of closure. See what I got going on here? So on one side we'll have that, and if it's kind of ugly, we can always see if it shows too much while we hang it. And then what I'll do is I will I'll glue something over top of it, maybe some greenery or something to hide that. We'll see how it looks. And a lot of times I might not cover it at all. Depends on what it is. It's not the focal point, and if someone's digging around and looking at it, then sure. So all I'm going to do here is I'm going to twist this just to make it one piece. You know what I thought is, like, sometimes you could figure out how to do 3 pieces here and even maybe just braid your cord, so it's a little more eye-catching. But I'm just going to twist this girl together here so that it's still 2 pieces of twine reinforced, as you can see, but when it gets to the other side, it's just not too fancy, just something I like to do. I did that with this one over here. It's just a different type of sisal. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. It's just a different type of sisal cording, so sometimes you can't really tell that much. And I like how it's, you know, it looks like it's shedding. I like the way it's a really rough type of material. So let me twist this up. And then I'm going to do a square knot on the other side. Let's see if I can tie this on itself. We'll see how my skills are when it comes to tying things up. So I'm going to hold my finger over top here. I'm going to kind of guesstimate. Just going to take a peek and see how far do I want it. This is something you'd hang on a hook or some sort of doorknob. If you can put, there's a couple in my kitchen. I put drawer knobs into the wall. I had my husband put an anchor in there, and then I just screwed the doorknob threaded piece into the anchor in the wall, and I use that on a lot of different things. I have a really cute white enamel one I like to hang things on in my kitchen, different picture frames like that, or you can just put a really decorative hook on the wall. Obviously, if you're going to put it on a nail, you could always put a bow at the top if you want, those types of goodies. So I'm going to feed this guy through here, and let's just see if I can, you know, make it look like I know what I'm doing here, guys. And let me see if I can just push this through. Not working. Let me get some tweezers. So let's do right over left, left over right, and I know that for sure. My husband taught me that one because he was a Boy Scout. It's definitely a square knot, so that's not going anywhere. And then let me just see if I can just push. Actually, I'm going to do a loop on this side. It's going to shorten it just a little bit, but I want to see if I'm just going to leave that on the side or not. I might cut it off, I don't know. Just make a cute little loop here. Yeah, that comes out because of the way the loop is. Alright, so that's good enough. I'm just going to cut these guys off here. So there's the hanger. There's the best part. Got a little bit of a tied end here. You can see how it's tied. If that bothers you, go ahead and share in the comments how you would do it differently. All ideas are welcome, and everybody's interpretation is different. So let's all share and see what we got. It's the best part of all of us hanging out at the same craft table, right? So what I'm going to do here now, guys, is I'm going to put a little bit of Spanish moss here at the bottom. And I have been a little bit using this a little bit more lately, even though it's not my favorite. If you guys have watched my other videos, you know that I don't really, I'm not a huge fan of this because of how messy it is. But it gets the job done, if you know what I mean. Basically, you want this in order to cover this ugly styrofoam or the spray foam or whatever you have that you're putting your material, you know, whatever material you're using to put your flowers in. You don't want it to be seen. So I'm just really going to put this here at the front. And it doesn't have to be solid, guys, because we are going to be putting a lot of flowers. We're going to be putting a lot of cute stuff in here to hide all of it. So all I'm doing is I'm gonna tack it in with some floral pins. That's a floral pin if you're not familiar with it. You can get it at any of the floral departments. It's just like a little U-shape guy here. And I'm just using it to secure this stuff in. I don't glue it only because I have come across issues where I've used a little bit too much glue on this part, and then when I go to put my stems in, I can't get them in because I've used too much glue. And also, when we put our stems in, our stems are going to have glue on them. So I like to try to shake off as much as I can the excess. Kind of like how this stuff sticks out a little bit. If it doesn't fall off, leave it in there. I like it to look a little crazy. So I try to shake off as much as I can because of how bad this stuff sheds. And now we can just literally get started on throwing all of our good pretty flowers in that we want. So, process of elimination. I know the only thing I'm going to use off of this bush are these tall green guys. So, I do not want, I'm going to take some of these. I want this leaf, but I don't want this pink flower here. So I'm still going to push this down pretty far. I'm going to cut this guy off here. And then what I'll do is pull off the flower I don't want, and then take the greenery I do want. Find my stem again. Here we go. Put that guy back on the stem for another day. And then push this guy. See, again, guys, this is going to go towards the back of the arrangement, so there's a chance that this greenery might not even be a focal point, but it's also filler. It's also something good that helps you get empty negative space you don't want, you know, that empty space you don't want. So basically, see, I've turned this into its own little pick by adding the flower, the leaves off of the stem it came on. I just took off the stuff I didn't want. And if it's a type of flower that you can't get that stuff off of, just clip it off. It won't be an issue. So I'm going to do it again with this one. I'm going to use all three because everyone's, it's popular to do odds, I guess, now. Who knows? I don't know what the reasoning is, but let's just go with it. So again, pull off the extras because we don't want this pink flower. Put the pink flower back on the stem you cut. That goes on the bush for later. And then I'm going to feed my stem back through the greenery leaves that I want to keep. And move it all a little around. And there's my second one. So I got 3 on this particular bush that I'm going to use. And then I know for sure I don't want to load it up with really big flowers. So I'm probably just going to take a couple of those yellowy, you know, I don't think they're sunflowers. I don't know what they are, but they're just pretty. You guys know I love flowers. I got a flower obsession. Like flowers and pumpkins, guys. It's bad. It's seriously an obsession. Alright, so there's those 3 guys I'm definitely going to use. Now I know I'm not going to use anything else on this particular bundle of flowers because these are not the colors I'm using. So this guy's going to go off in left field. And you will not see it again. Alright. My little filler here, I want to put this in to fill stuff on the back. This is a, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, I forgot what this is called. You guys know what this is? No, it's not oleander. What is this called? Ficus. There we go. These ficus bushes you can get at the Hobby Lobby pretty cheap. But on the 50% off day, it's $1. So these are a good staple. I know a lot of people use them in their wreath making, so it kind of is just a filler for the back. I'm going to use the rest of this possibly in the back of this here. But for this guy, I'm just going to take a couple of these off. And I sort of like to keep some of my stuff ready to go. Like, I know for sure I definitely want 2 of these. I might need to come back for more because of filler. We'll see how much room we have. But I know I definitely at least want 2. Unless this bundle has smaller ones on it. It does not. It has little white flowers, but these yellow flowers are all the same size. Okay, so that one's going to go off in my field also. I'm just for sure going to use these particular ones here. And then let's cut up this girl here. And see how we can use this. I usually use this in my grapevine grapevine wreaths as filler. I know a lot of you guys have watched a lot of my videos, and we also watch other videos too. These are really, really good and inexpensive, and they're really good for finding empty spaces. Oh, I'm gonna win this one. Hold on, guys. There we go. I just did a bunch of stuff with buttons, and my hands are hurting. So you guys have seen on my Instagram. Look how cute this is. Look at all these little buttons. Oh, isn't that cute? Yeah, all of this twisting is really taking a toll on my hands. So I'm hurting a little bit. Just a little bit. So let's just cut this up. And let's start putting these greenery guys in first, and we'll see how far we get. Trying to put my greenery into a point where I know I'm going to use it for filler. So I don't know if you can see up here. You guys can't see up here. Right up here, just right here, you can see I have a glue pen. So I'm not going to use my pick machine for this. I'm just going to dip it in my glue pen and start pressing it into that foam in the back. This is like it's not necessarily going to be the main event. So literally don't, get discouraged. Just throw it in and see how it goes. Again, you don't want this to be main event anyways because the details on these aren't that good. This is literally just filler. It's just filler. So even if it goes in the back, it's fine because we don't really want or care too much for it to show. But should your eye have the opportunity to see it or catch it, it adds a little bit of green to your project. I'm going to put this guy over here. I got 2 pieces I haven't used, but I don't want to load it up too much. So basically all we have here is a little greenery collage. So now let's put our flowers in. So I've got more on this. I'm bending the blossom forward so that when I press it in here, it will have a curvature like coming out of your project. So yeah, it resembles more of a flower collage than anything, or like a shadow box that's exploding with life. We'll go with that. But these yellow flowers just make me smile. It's very, very pretty, very spring. So let me cut this one down a little bit because I'm going to add a steel pick to it. So I cut off the amount of the steel pick. Now, if you're not sure what a steel pick is, this is a steel pick machine. So what you do is you're advancing a metal piece forward. I'm going to place my stem where that metal piece is, and you push down on this lever. And when you pull it out, this is what you have. So it basically turns your floral stems into their own metal picks. It is a wonderful thing for floral arrangements. So then I'm using this guy as a little scooper for that, and then pressing that in just right there. Now this one I'm going to leave taller and put it right behind it. So again, off to the side, you can't see here, I'm going to put a steel pick on the end of this flower. You see the steel picks? And I want to keep this off to one side. So I'm going to put this guy right behind it, which leads me to believe I'm possibly going to end up taking a third one from somewhere off of that other bush. I'm possibly going to take a third one. I'll bend this one down a little bit more. So there's part of it, and we can still put some cute stuff off to the side here. I have an idea of some other items here. This is white freesia. These little guys are super cute. And we still have our tall green guys here. Now, because these are these styrofoam balls, I usually don't buy these. I shy away from them because of how easy it is to damage them, and then they fall off. Then you can see that white piece of styrofoam, and that frustrates me really bad. But I felt like this one is just really cute. So I like actually placing it right here where I'm able to see in the arrangement here. I like where that's at. I'm not putting a steel pick on it because it went into the styrofoam fairly easily. So I'm going to leave that guy just like that. This one's a little bit shorter. And it kind of curves off this way. I'm checking for any damage on them to see, because these are going to be like, you need to be super careful with them even after you place them. And then let me see, this guy kind of wants to go this way. Okay, let's do that. Kind of picking an opposite direction for this other one. I like that right there. Sometimes you'll see that I'll just, I'll test something first, and then other times you'll see I'll just glue it and stick it in there. Just depends on, obviously the availability of the product. Do I have a whole bunch of these? And I don't. I only have a few of these, so I want those to kind of go two different ways. And then I want this little guy off here kind of on his own. Have his own little party over here right up front. So far so good, guys. This is basically, we're just building it. All we're doing is building what you feel looks good. So if it makes you happy, just keep placing those flowers. Got a little bit of white freesia here. I got some more yellow blooms. Again, these are old Hobby Lobby, guys. I doubt you'll be able to find it. This is a really old Michaels purchase. I used this on a project very, very long ago because I zip tied these stems back on that I didn't use. So I must have clipped these off for a different project and I never used them. So I do that a lot. I'll just put them back on the original stem with a zip tie if I have enough, because I don't want to lose them. So let's just bust this one out, bust this stash out. Let's push everything up real tall and just get rid of this bush. It's been in my stash for, I want to say like 2 years, guys. It's been a while. So we shall see. I didn't save the leaves on this because I don't think they're worth it. This one's a little less expensive. So I like to mix some of the nicer flowers, the larger cost flowers with some of the inexpensive flowers. Because again, I'm a huge proponent of you get what you pay for. I am definitely not a fan of the dollar store. But I mean, look at this leaf, guys. It's very floppy. It's not good quality at all. It's shedding. It's just ugly. It's not pretty at all. But I like these little plastic pieces coming off here. It's very spring. So again, let's just push these guys in here and start getting our flowers all filled in. Just have a little fun. Doesn't have to really make sense as long as it makes sense to you. You know what I mean? Let's just have some fun. It's a little bit harder to work with because of this thing, it lays flat. And then also I want to make sure I have a decent view for you guys. So sometimes it just doesn't, it's just not conducive, if that makes sense. Conducive. It's not conducive for some of the stuff you'd want to do. I'm going to do a double stem on this. So I'm going to take these two pieces that I cut apart, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the two stems together like this in my steel pick machine. So here, I'll push up my lever. I've advanced the metal piece. I'm going to put these two together in here. Okay. I'm putting pressure with my finger down to keep the stems together in the little channel that the metal piece is in. Then I'm going to use the lever, hold it, put my counterweight on it. And then basically you can see here, the piece has been clamped around the two ends, so they basically are strong. They're not coming apart. Making my own picks. I'm a huge fan of making my own picks. So I'm going to bend this one off to the side a little bit more, kind of off to the left. And what I want to do is I want it to stick out this left side over here between these two guys. So let me see how I can get this in here. Because after I get glue on it, yes, I absolutely love that. Okay, so I got to hold these apart. So cute, so cute. And if something gets in the way, it's all wired, guys. That's why we're using artificial flowers. Just bend it. Bend it to your will. So far, so good. You see this little piece over here? I'm not sure if you can see too well on this camera here. It's my old recording camera. Not necessarily old, because it sure wasn't inexpensive, I'll tell you that. But it's my my recording camera I used many times. Alright, so let's take some freesia. In fact, one of these fell off. So let me find the empty stem. Here it is. And then I'm going to dip it back in here and then just glue it back onto the stem. I mean, if you sat and you glued everything back on that fell apart, you would be there forever because, you know, all this stuff that we buy is made in China. So a lot of it's not as good quality and some of it falls apart. I have had many flowers that don't. But the price of those flowers, yeah, definitely not an everyday purchase. I could tell you that. So I did the same thing here with these two different flowers, and I made one pick out of it. And don't be afraid of covering up that picture frame, because that's what we're here for. Picture frame is just an accent. The flowers, the bow, all of this is going to be your main focal. Alright, what I want to do is I believe I'm going to put my bow down here on this side or somewhere here up in the middle. So I'm going to grab one more of these large yellow flowers, or larger yellow flowers. But I'm going to make it pretty short because I'm going to put it towards the front down here. Yeah, that's super cute. I really like that down there. It makes me happy. So this one didn't go in. I mean, it didn't give me any problems going in, so I don't need to pick on it. I love that. That's really cute. And it angles off to the side a little bit. So this is what we have so far. And literally, guys, it's just piecing things. They're all coming together and little pieces here and there. I got a bunch of glue on my finger now. Hold on. Hot glue messes with your manicure. Okay, guys. I'm going to take some of these little yellow buds. There's a lot of yellow here, but there's also a lot of texture because all of these flowers are just a little different. And don't be afraid to, you know, come at it at a different angle. Like, you could push this, literally just push this down straight in, but then we could also bend it. We could also bend it down this way. So some of the flowers are sticking out different directions. Actually, that was a bad. Ignore that. I'm going to put this one in a different spot. I'm actually going to leave that one there too because my plan there we go. Yep, my plan of attack is for that bow to go there, so I might be able to use that little yellow flower there as a accent for my bow. So push this guy in here, filling up empty space. It's really all you want to do is fill up your empty space. And most of the time, some of these, like when you're doing a collage, I remember doing collages when I was in school, you want things to kind of pop out at you at different angles. So I'm just kind of moving and bending and taking things and pushing them here and there and bending them this way. And we're making a pretty, just a pretty little mess of goodies. Last two things I have here is, I bought these little weird looking things. They remind me of dandelions, even though I know they're not, but I love these weird little yellow balls. Little yellow balls, they're cute to me. So I'll leave one long, put this one a little shorter. I'm going to make this into its own separate double pick. See how I did that? Super cute, super cute. Oh my goodness, look how cute that is. It's so cute. I love it. It becomes a focal point. I love it, I love it. And I'm not pushing this one like way down into the styrofoam either. I'm just pushing it right up front there. So I got two of those there. Do another two. I'm gonna probably put them right next to each other. I'm like, not everything has to be spaced out perfectly, guys. Like, nothing is symmetrical in nature, right? I'm gonna bend this guy out this way. I bend it a little bit the opposite direction. Oh my gosh, I love that. It starts to get exciting when things come together. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness, guys. I love it. I love those little dandelion balls. I don't know what they are, guys. I'm just calling them dandelion balls. So cute. And let me see. I gotta put that tag back on there. Now these little wispy guys, I love buying these things if they're ever on sale because they just add a lot of movement. They just add a lot of cute. So all I did was separate that You guys watch me. I literally just pulled it right straight off. And then from there, you can take this and turn it into its own separate pieces. So what I do is a lot of times I will literally rip it apart. So I'm going to keep that as its own, because the rest of it is kind of big. I'm going to pull all the paper off the ends of that. And I made my own little bundle off of that other bundle. So from this, I'm going to, I mean, if you have to, you could put some floral tape on here to keep all these ends together. But let's see if I can just get this to work in my, yep, it grabbed all of it. There are times where it won't do that. So it's a lot of times this pick machine is very good. It makes your own, see there, it's really solid. It makes you your own picks, literally, pick machine. So you can take things apart from the way you bought them, since I don't usually like to go with what they tell me I have to go with. I was like, the store says you have to do that. No. I reject your reality and I substitute my own. I like this little guy here, but I'm not going to take it apart in order to put it in there, so I'm just going to glue it. Glue it right down in there like that. I'm putting a pick on this guy. And I kind of wanted it back here. We'll put the bow in next, guys, and then from there, it's literally just the bow, and then we'll fill it in with more of these little yellow and white flowers. This is the stuff that just makes me happy. Put in the comments, guys. Tell me about stuff that makes you happy. Like, what's the best part about crafting or watching craft videos? I like watching videos of people doing stuff just to get me motivated. Just to say, you know what, I can do that. It's so easy. It looks so cute. That's a great idea. I love that this person is sharing all of it with us. That type of stuff. That's the stuff that really brings me just to a happy place. That, and then everything you end up creating is just so one of a kind. It just, you know, when you're done, you're proud of what you made. That's the best part. So tell me, guys, in the comments, what do you do to pass the time, you know? Especially right now with everything the way it is, you know, our quarantines and self-distancing and all that good stuff. It's kind of scary out there. But it's also not, you know, it is what it is. What do you guys do to get through it? What's the best thing that you have found helps you? Because right now, I haven't made a video in, I don't know, probably, I haven't made an actual video like this in a very, very long time. So, you guys can obviously see that I need a little stimulation. So I said, let me come to you guys. Also, I'm going to do some live streams too. Don't worry. I said I would, and I definitely will. I just need to get that. Sometimes the motivation just doesn't, you know, it leaves you, it escapes you, and you really don't know how to get it back. Life gets in the way, you know. Sometimes there's nothing we can do about it. All right, so, whoops. Okay. Put that there, bend that here. I'll put one right here in the middle, and then I'm going to get my bow made. Now remember, I said I was going to use non-wired bow, or, no, I'm sorry, non-wired ribbon. So here we go. We got a good little space up front for our bow to go. Okay. And I'm going to wait and see where I can put those in. So these guys here, I need some pipe cleaner. Okay. I'm going to use white. All right, guys. Take a seat. Oh, I can't sit down. Forgot my my goodies are on her. Excuse me. Need some more. Talking a lot. Alright, guys. So we have no ribbon. I'm sorry. We have ribbon. We have no bow. Oh, Whitney, geez, we have ribbon to make a bow. We have no wire in this ribbon. So we want to make our loops small enough to where that won't make a difference. They stand up on their own. Or if you want to have a more slouchy, sloppy bow, droopy bow, that's definitely okay. It's kind of like, you know, spring came and everything got rained on. It's a little damp and humid. Those types of wonderful little stories. So I'm not going to keep my tails long at all because I don't want too much of it. It's not going to curl. It's not going to be able to be shaped. So here I'm just, and this is double-sided, so I don't need to twist. I'm just going to make a bunch of loops. And I mean, it's literally a accent bow. It's not going to be something that you can fluff up and make big and floofy and pretty. But we're going to put a little bit of accents inside there too. So I put, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then one more over here is 3. And then I'll cut that off there. There's really, if you guys saw how sloppy that was, there's no absolute art, you know, to making it perfect. A lot of times in the beginning when I was really upset and I didn't think I was doing a good enough job on any of my pieces and my bows were bad and this, that, and the other, you're your own worst critic, really. Don't put or focus on it, and you'd be amazed at what turns out if you just stop. I don't want to say stop caring so much, but that's really what it is. You have to get out of your own head, you know? I have a lot of people say, oh, I just can't get the bow right. They're like, you know what? The bow is, there is no right or wrong way to do a bow, you guys. Bows are meant to be accents. They're meant to be pretty. They're meant to be sloppy or perfect or loopy or however, you know, whatever makes you happy, that's what your bow is. So let me dovetail this. Not agreeing with me. Come on. There we go. He's arguing with me. Alright, so I twisted the pipe cleaner around there, and then I twisted that in. I cut it off, and you can see here I've made like basically my own little pick. I'm going to put a steel pick on the end of that. So I'm turning my bow into a pick because we don't have a wreath. We're not wiring this through anything. So this bow is sloppy and loopy and cute. I am literally going to just get glue on it and put it where I believe I want it, and we will go from there. Okay, so place the bow in here. You can, you know, make fussy with it a little bit. Get it all moved all around. Get your loops kind of, if you want to try to position them, but remember, we have no wire, so our loops are short enough that they hold their own, sort of, kind of. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that as I see it fit there. I'm going to wrap my ribbon up. I'm done with this one. And I'm going to make maybe 2 of the exact type of thing that I made here, but with this cording. Now, when I bought this, I honestly thought it was wired. Little did I know. Got this at Michael's many, many moons ago. So, it is not wired. And as soon as you cut it, it frays pretty badly. So I have some tape on the end of that. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut it jeez, that's really bad. Look at that. Didn't know what I was getting myself into there, did I? Well, I know why I put tape on the end, guys. So it's one of those things, it's like, why would you do that? Why on earth did they make a rope that literally falls apart the second you cut it? It's like you have to cut it. So I'm just going to wrap some Scotch tape around this end. And then I'll cut it in the middle of that and then maybe dip it in the glue. But this isn't going to hang out, like it's not going to, this isn't going to be a tail. This will be the part that I keep inside. Yeah, this is the part I'm going to keep inside my loops. So I'll show you in a second. So I'm dipping this in glue here. And I'm just going to let that cool off a little bit. There we go. So that's what I did to the end of it, if you can see. There's tape on the end of that, and then there's a little bit of hot glue on the end of that. So, let me just take all the rest of this, what's on here. What did they do? Same thing, they've got the end taped on it too. Alright, go. Alright, so what I do here is I kind of just hold these pieces in my hands here, right? And I make these loops about as long as my fingers are. And then I kind of match the other side, if you can see that. So it's just a flick of the wrist. You'll get to know how your hands handle it, how your hands feel about it. And if you get the idea in the middle, when we push it in, this is what we're going to get. We're going to get like just a little sloppy loop, bunch of loops, corded loops. Super cute. Super cute. And then again, didn't really think that through very well, did I? Let's take a let's take a clothespin here and just hold our work together, sorta, kinda, haphazardly. And just wrap this guy up. This also be really cute if you want to put some bunnies in it. Spring and summer. We already had Valentine's. We already had St. Patrick's Day. So it's like, what else can we put in here? There's a lot of times, my next thing that I'm going to do for a live stream that I made a two-tiered bucket. You guys are going to see, I'm making a specific two-tiered item for my front room that will be seasonable, if that's a word. I'm going to be able to put things in and out of it that aren't necessarily permanent for the seasons. Alright, so I finished that other end, I dipped it in glue, and now I am just going to make sure both ends are here sandwiched in between the, this is the cutoff piece I used from the pipe cleaner I used to make my ribbon, or make my bow. So I'm going to twist this together, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the bow, and I'm going to put this in the steel pick, and I'm going to make a pick out of it. Same thing. So you hold this here like this. You're going to take your piece here, place it in the middle, make a little pick out of it. I'm going to play around with it, see if I want it. I don't want that there. Okay, I kind of pushed it in between the bow here. I really like that. So now I got to take it back out and then remember its placement so I can glue it, then glue it right back in where it was. Alright guys, now I'm going to take a peek, see what I got and where I need to put filler. See how we just made the bow a little loopy. Just a little droopy loopy. I love it. Little sloppy droopy loopy. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this freesia here. And I'm going to pull some stems off. I'm going to pull some leaves out of places. What do I got for leaves? No, these leaves aren't that cute. Not at all. I like to put things in the bows. You guys know that about me. I like to put all kinds of weird stuff in the bows. So I might have to find some leaves I like better. Okay. I'm still pick this last little guy here. Put it down in the middle, top of the bow. And then I still have some more yellow ones that I can steal from the bunch. I have a few left on that up there that I possibly could take. So I basically stuck it in and behind it and I bent it forward. And again, our loops are tiny enough that they can support themselves. Took a piece, one of the flowers off of the freesia bush, and I am going to dip the little plastic piece in the glue, and I'm going to nestle this right here in the middle of my bow. So right down there underneath, you can see the flower here. Just like to get stuff in there. Get stuff put in there, little hidey spots. Alright guys, let me see what else I got that I can put in here. These are kind of dark for me. I don't want to put really dark ones in there. I think these are okay. They're not perfect, but I don't mind it. So I'm going to clip these leaves off and just kind of nestle them up into the bow. Into little like into the loopy areas, just so it looks like there's some growth coming out of your bow, like it was placed in there and nature grew around it. I can't not put stuff in my bows. I can't just make a bow and let it be a bow. I have to infringe upon its life and its growth. Make it my own. I only have 2 more of those on this little bush guy here, so I'm going to use the flowers. That way I don't have those more sticking around and hanging around my craft room, bothering me, taking up space. Just trust me, I do not need them. I have a lot of extras of a lot of stuff. Again, I cut my leaves off of the stem part. I am dipping the ends in glue, and I'm just nestling them up into basically the center of the bow. I'm putting it inside the loops. You see right here? Kind of just nestling it up into the middle of the bow where we put all the, all the place, everywhere to secure it, that type of stuff. Where'd that other flower go? Okay, so these guys I'm going to make a little bit shorter, because really all I want to do is fill this space in. I don't want it to be too crowded. But we don't want too much of this extra stuff showing either. So that's where I glued that in and bent the stem down so it kind of comes down and out. And then this guy we'll put, I think right there looks good. And there's one little piece of white right there to break all that yellow up. And I'll be done, you guys. We'll take a peek at it and I'll show you. And I know this isn't a live stream because I'm used to during my live stream asking you guys what you think and then getting your feedback and you guys tell me add this or don't add this or stuff like that. So I mean, I kind of miss the live stream thing. So I don't know how many more of these I'll do, not to mention the amount of time it takes to edit all this stuff. It gets to be a little bit too much sometimes. So let me put just a very short piece of white flower right here. Actually, I'm going to put it behind this little yellow dandelion ball thing right here. And what I'm going to do is put one more dandelion right there. Yep. I love it. That way I have an odd now. I got 3 of the big flowers and then I got 5 of those. So there's like your odds if you want to stick to somebody's rules they made regarding something or somewhat or somehow and so forth. Alright, so one of my little freesia came off. I'm going to dab the end with my glue gun. Put the blossom back on. Again, there's no way I'm doing that for every single flower. That's part of the game when you work with fake flowers. And if a person buys it and they get upset about it, you probably shouldn't have bought fake flowers. Okay, so where's this one? Alright, one more of these. Let's take this guy from here. Yeah, that will look perfect right there. So I'm going to put a steel pick on this by itself just so I can make sure it really gets into where I want it to be. Because I do have some glue and some stuff down here and some leaves. So we got glue on the end. Perfect, guys. Look how cute. Oh, I like the dandelion little, I want to say they're dandelions. I honestly don't know what they are. And of course, tags never tell you what they are. I don't know what it is, but it's super cute. I love them. All right, guys, what do you think? What do you think? You know what would be really cute is you could put like a little Easter egg popping out of here, a little bunny popping out of here. Make this the spring season area here. You could also use a bird. I don't have any birds. I know I have bunnies and stuff, but they're definitely squared away in a different room, so super cute. I'm really loving how it turned out. And then I'm not going to cover the sides, guys. I'm going to leave it just like that. So it's going to hang up against the wall just like that. Alright guys, check it out. Here's the finished product. You guys want to be able to see it upright, sort of, kind of. I'll have pictures. You'll be able to see those in just a few seconds. I always put those in at the end of the videos. So there you go. Look how cute it is. You can see the picture frame a little bit just around the arrangement. From the side, you can see it's a baking dish. You can see the twine. I love it. It's very country. It's very farmhouse. It's very repurposed. So remember, here's how you're going to hang it against the wall. So if you see here, and you're worried about placement, you're worried about hanging, your knob or your hook will be here in the wall, and then the piece doesn't really, it doesn't bend forward too much or anything else like that. This is basically your placement. So cute, so cute. And there's the other guy there. See, they're just really cute little eclectic, funny little bits of cuteness that I couldn't say no to. So I wanted to make another one, and I wanted to show you guys how I did it. So you guys also take a look in the description. I'll have my social medias in there. I don't use Facebook so much anymore, guys. It's just one of those things. I'm not interested in Facebook, so I will post my Instagram post to my Facebook page, but Instagram's basically where I'm going to be. You can also message me in YouTube. I have the community page, and then I might be starting a Patreon back up, but it's not going to be a pressure type thing. It's just join if you want. Don't worry about it. That's a good way to get a hold of me, or to talk to me, or to give me ideas, those types of things. So we'll see how things go. I'm taking it slowly, but I definitely want to keep coming back, and I want to stay with you guys. So just let me know how things go. Let me know what you think of this little project here. And I'm looking forward to my next live stream. I am going to show you guys some goodies. Some of the stuff I've already prepped, just like this one I had halfway prepped because of the time it takes to get them put together. But I can't wait to talk to all of y'all. Let me know in the comments what you think. And then any other messages you guys want to share or see, ideas, tips, and tricks, they're always welcome. There's always room for all of us at the craft table together. So let's keep it civil, guys. No matter what, we all have a lot more in common than we really do know. So that's it for today. Hugs to all. And thanks for joining and watching. Hit subscribe, hit like, leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.